Are you looking for adrenaline pumping action on Netflix? Well, look no further because today we're going to go through 10 of the best Netflix original action films that are on the service that you can start streaming immediately, and a bonus option at the end. I'm Greg, and here at the Binge List we make recommendations for TV shows and for movies that you can access from the comfort of your own home. Stop mindlessly scrolling, stop wasting your precious free time, and let's get this list started. Let's start this off with a bang and talk about the Army of the Dead, where we head to Las Vegas, which has fallen to a zombie apocalypse, now quarantined by this giant wall of shipping containers around it. Then we meet Scott, played by Dave Bautista, this hardened veteran who's approached by a casino owner, Bly Tanaka, played by Hiroyuki Sanada, with a daring proposition: infiltrate the city, break into his old casino, and retrieve $200 million that is in the basement before the quarantine area gets nuked. Scott gathers a ragtag team of these unique, skilled individuals and venture into the zombie-infested wasteland. But they soon discover that Las Vegas harbors not just the usual mindless undead, but a hierarchy of these intelligent alpha zombies. The action in this movie is relentless and brutal, with a blend of gunfights and hand-to-zombie combat. Bautista is honestly underrated. He is great in everything. In this, his charismatic portrayal of the gruff yet vulnerable Scott brings emotion to the role, making you root for him even when he makes some somewhat questionable decisions in this movie. But I really think the best character is Matthias Schweighofer's Ludwig Dieter. He feels almost like a child who happened to stumble into this zombie quarantine zone, and while those around him just stand tough and fight back, he is just scared out of his mind the entire time, bringing a majority of the humor to this film. And one of the coolest aspects of the film is the CGI and the zombie prosthetics. They were genuinely terrifying, creating this believable and gruesome post-apocalyptic world. Honestly, both the makeup and the CGI are top-notch.
What is this? It's a goddamn zombie tiger. That's heavy, brother, but I dig it.
If you're like me and you're an avid fan of zombie movies and shows, some part of the narrative may feel a bit familiar, but the addition of the alpha zombies adds this cool new aspect to the genre. And just as a disclaimer, this is not for the faint of heart. This film is packed with graphic violence and might be overkill for some. Army of the Dead is perfect for action enthusiasts and fans of zombie flicks. It has really cool visuals and adrenaline pumping zombie action, along with a charismatic lead by Bautista. Well worth the watch. And if you enjoy it, there's somewhat related non-zombie prequel, Army of Thieves, that you can check out afterwards.
What if I told you, I know what happens when you die? You become a ghost.
This is my personal favorite on this list, and this movie is Six Underground, mostly because I think this story has this really unique premise, and it has cool characters that you can root for along the way. But in this story, we tag along with 6 individuals from across the globe, each with a unique skill set, and are brought together by this mysterious billionaire, the character of One, played by Ryan Reynolds. Having faked their deaths and severed all ties from their past lives, they form a daring vigilante group operating outside the law. Their mission is to take down corrupt governments and powerful organizations that inflict injustice on the world. Using cutting-edge technology and their unique skills, these 6 ghosts embark on a mission around the world, leaving a trail of destruction and justice in their wake. This movie is what you get when you tell Michael Bay to go outdo Michael Bay. The action sequences are truly epic, with car chases, explosions, and shootouts to high-tech gadgetry. The film is super fast-paced and keeps delivering adrenaline-pumping thrills that use both innovative choreography and practical effects to push it over the top. I enjoy this entire cast. They really mesh well together, and they have this good chemistry among the group. Obviously, Reynolds' characteristic wit and comedic timing shine in this film, but they all add humor and personality to the high-stakes action.
I wasn't sure it would work. I mean, I wasn't sure. I had a suspicion, but
And from luxury yachts in Italy to underground hideouts and luxurious high-rise apartments, the film takes you on this stunning journey around the world. If I'm being honest, this movie has a ton of flash in it. It stays true to what it is pretty much the entire time, a big budget action film, and it doesn't dive super deep into the characters. It does have potential to do so and lightly explores a few of the subplots, but it never really fully explores it before the next big action moment. Is that a bad thing? Well, it really depends on what you're looking for. Six Underground has been praised for its adrenaline pumping action, the cast's solid chemistry, Reynolds' performance of course. Even if the story doesn't delve super deep, it is a great watch and you are sure to enjoy it.
This is a bad idea.
Bang.
Somebody set me up over here. You better pray you have nothing to do with it.
Next on our list is something that I would consider a hidden gem on Netflix, and that's mostly because I don't really hear people talk about this movie, and I think it deserves a lot more attention. And that is Polar, starring Mads Mikkelsen as Duncan, codenamed the Black Kaiser. This man was the world's top assassin, and now he's reached retirement age and he's settling down into a quiet life in the snowy mountain retreat with his loyal canine companion. However, his peaceful days are shattered when his former employer, played by Matt Lucas, decides Duncan is a liability and sends a squad of ruthless assassins to retire him permanently. Fueled by rage and the need for survival, Duncan unleashes his deadly skills one last time, embarking on a bloody rampage to protect his newfound peace and exact revenge on those who betray him. Mads Mikkelsen's performance is outstanding. Despite saying very little in this movie, he delivers a captivating and calculated charm to Duncan, making him both a badass of epic proportions and still strangely relatable. The film's action sequences are brutal and creative, showcasing Duncan's impressive skills and inventiveness while dispatching his pursuers with relative ease. Even with all the bloodshed, there is an unexpected amount of humor in this movie that lightens the tone, preventing it from ever feeling overly serious. This focuses in on Mikkelsen for a majority of this movie. A lot of the other characters seem somewhat one-dimensional and really only there to be taken down by Duncan. I highly recommend checking this hidden gem out on Netflix. Polar is great if you're a fan of Mikkelsen, obviously, but also if you like stylish action sequences with dark comedic twists and don't mind a fairly straightforward story.
You're not a good man, but you're doing a good thing.
This is an extraction.
So who the players?
Biggest drug lord in India versus biggest drug lord in Bangladesh.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. I'm a huge superhero fan, so obviously I was going to check out Extraction with the God of Thunder himself, Chris Hemsworth, starring. In this movie, we follow his character Tyler Rake, a fearless black market mercenary haunted by his past who accepts this high-stakes mission to rescue the kidnapped teenage son of an imprisoned Indian drug lord. Infiltrating Bangladesh's underworld, Rake faces relentless pursuit from both rival gangs and corrupt military forces. With time running out and double crosses looming, Rake and the teenage boy form an unlikely bond as they fight their way through gunfights and explosions to escape. They pull off some mind-blowing stunts in this one, especially the super incredible immersive single take sequence in the middle of the movie. It has thrilling execution, inventive choreography, and great use of practical stunts. Like Polar, this movie focuses in on the main character, and good thing this main character is played by Hemsworth. He is a top-tier actor and embodies the ruggedness and intensity of this hardened mercenary. The film cinematography is top tier. It does a good job capturing the grit and chaos at the ground level, while also making the city a key component in the story with aerial shots that add to the overall cinematic experience. If you're a fan of Hemsworth, definitely check out Extraction. But if that's not enough, this movie offers you thrilling stunts, adrenaline-pumping action, and captivating visuals.
You always this brave.
I'm not brave.
You're bleeding.
It's just a scratch.
You can get infected. Worms will get in there and lay eggs, and then they'll have to cut your arm off.
That's what they teach you in school these days?
Another movie I would consider somewhat of a hidden gem on Netflix, but still a really good movie and has the coolest name on this list, and that is Gunpowder Milkshake. In this film, we follow highly trained Sam, who has evolved into this exemplary professional assassin. When Sam decides to put the life of an unfortunate 8-year-old girl above the interests of the nefarious organization called the Firm, together they navigate the gritty underworld of assassins, wielding unparalleled skills and razor-sharp wit against impossible odds. As they face betrayal, uncover family secrets, and unleash a whirlwind of vengeance, Sam must forge her own path in the face of an unforgiving world. I really had no idea what this movie was when I turned it on, just really liked the title and saw it had a long list of phenomenal actresses in it, but this film's action is phenomenal, with very inventive choreography, stylish execution, and a thrilling blend of gun fu, acrobatics, and creative weapon use along the way. Speaking of the cast, this is a diverse and talented cast of women showcasing their badassery with wit and charisma. Karen Gillan leading the way, but also we have Lena Headey, Carla Gugino, and Michelle Yeoh in this film. There are vibrant colors that pop off the screen in this one. It has a very neon lit atmosphere that gives you this touch of retro charm, creating a real life comic book style, even though this isn't based on a comic book. The story in this movie was pretty straightforward and easy to follow, and you may feel like it's a bit predictable, but for most of us, we can probably predict most action films. But the fun part is how we get there, and this movie has enough action-packed moments and incredible actresses to help keep you fully engaged. If you like stylish and action-packed films with strong, talented female actresses in it, you will certainly enjoy Gunpowder Milkshake. It's 100% worth checking out.
So what's on the agenda today? Hunting vampires.
The next title on our list is jam-packed with action, and it is absolutely hilarious, and it is Day Shift, starring Jamie Foxx as Bud Jablonski, a seemingly ordinary pool cleaner, but he has a huge secret. He is a vampire hunter by night. Bud works tirelessly to keep his neighborhood safe from the bloodsuckers, all while maintaining his day job as this cover. However, his comfortable routine is disrupted by a rogue vampire. Then Bud is teamed up with the always nervous probation officer Seth, played by Dave Franco, to face a horde of blood-sucking vampires and protect his daughter. Their unlikely partnership leads them on a wild and action-packed adventure through the underworld as they battle these monstrous creatures. The action in this film feels non-stop. It is a fun and fast-paced ride with some creative fight scenes where Bud uses a myriad of weapons and different gadgets that blend humor and thrills. And then Jamie Foxx is a hilarious actor in his own right, but Franco pushes this movie over the top with numerous laugh-out-loud moments, and they have this super awkward buddy cop vibe where you see Foxx's charisma on display alongside this extremely odd Dave Franco character, adding humanity to the vampire hunting action. I did read that some people didn't think that this movie was very unique, and I really enjoyed the spin on the traditional vampire lore. With different types of vampires and hierarchy within the underworld, I felt it had its own spin. Out of all the movies on this list, this is by far the funniest overall. If you like action comedy, this is definitely the one for you. Day Shift brings a lot to the table for pure action enthusiasts too. Fox's performance was great, with the energetic action and unique vampire lore makes it a great watch on Netflix. If you enjoyed Gunpowder Milkshake, then this is probably another great option for you with a slightly less cool name. This movie is Kate, where we follow, Kate, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, a skilled and ruthless assassin working for a powerful Yakuza crime syndicate in Tokyo. Assigned a seemingly routine hit, Kate is unexpectedly poisoned with a lethal toxin with a 24-hour timer.
Jesus, Kate, what happened to you?
I missed. I think I was poisoned before the hit.
Fueled by vengeance and a desperate urge to survive, Kate sets out to track down her killer and exact revenge before the poison takes its toll. Along the way, she forms an unlikely bond with a young Japanese girl named Ani, played by Miku Martino, who becomes her unexpected ally in this deadly quest. Like most of the movies on this list, this one has epic action sequences that have brutal intensity and innovative choreography that make the fight scenes feel grounded and realistic. Kate is not wrapped as tightly in plot armor as some of the others on this list. You can really feel the emotional and the physical toll in Winstead's portrayal of Kate. Her emotional depth, vulnerability, and fierce determination made this character complex but still relatable. And having a female lead is obviously similar to Gunpowder Milkshake, but it also has this similar stylish cinematography with this neon lit aesthetic that shows off the gritty underworld that adds to the overall atmosphere of the suspense. Like a few others, this focuses on the main character quite a bit, and the others were just kind of there in this film. You do not really get any emotional connection to any of the other characters. They definitely could have been more fleshed out to make things just a bit more interesting. This Netflix original Kate has a lot to love though. Thrilling action sequences, Winstead's performance is great, and stylish visuals of the Tokyo underground that are really cool. Well worth a watch.
Everything we've done for the last 17 years,
Trying to make a difference.
and we never took a dime.
This next movie on our list, I was really pumped to see when it was released, with a star-studded cast of Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hunnam, Garrett Hedlund, and Pedro Pascal. Honestly, how could this movie be bad? This is Triple Frontier, where we follow these 5 former Special Forces operatives who reunite for a daring heist. They plan to rob a powerful South American drug lord and walk away with millions. However, their seemingly perfect plan goes awry when greed, betrayal, and unforeseen circumstances test their loyalty and threaten their lives. First, this cast's acting is exactly what you'd expect out of this group. The on-screen chemistry and the individual performances were all top-notch. Not to overshadow the super intense action scenes, showcasing the characters' military skills and the brutal consequences of their mission. You feel the tension and danger with every step that they take. It feels like this movie was tactical about the action though. It's not non-stop, and they give these phenomenal actors time to do what they do best, where they slow it down a little bit and just let them interact with each other. And that's one thing that I really enjoyed about this film. Don't get me wrong, jam-packed action is cool, but slowing things down, you actually learn about the characters and care about them in these extremely tense situations. I also felt like they did a really good job exploring the ethical and moral challenges faced in this film, with the blurred lines between what's right and what's wrong. Triple Frontier is an extremely good movie, probably one of my favorites on this list to be honest, with intense, realistic action sequences, super strong performances, and these morally ambiguous characters. Definitely worth jumping into for its 2-hour runtime.
My wife was supposed to start a new medication.
The company that makes the drug pulled it off the market.
Next on our list is Sweet Girl. This one does not feature any assassins, mercenaries, or high-end art thieves as its hero, just the devoted family man Ray Cooper, played by Jason Momoa, who watches helplessly as his wife Amanda succumbs to cancer after a life-saving drug is pulled from the market by Bioprime, this greedy pharmaceutical company.
I can help you get justice for what happened to your wife.
Who's that?
Local family gets ravaged by big pharma's greed.
Driven by grief and rage, Ray vows revenge and embarks on a dangerous crusade to expose Bioprime's corruption and bring justice for his wife. He is accompanied by his sharp-witted daughter Rachel, played by Isabella Merced, as they navigate a world of corrupt greed and deadly secrets. Jason Momoa has a really powerful performance in this film. You really get a chance to see his emotional range and raw portrayal of grief and vengeance, showcasing his pain and determination every step of the way, along with a solid supporting performance from Isabella Merced. Even without assassins and mercenaries, this film is packed full of action, tons of well-choreographed scenes from hand-to-hand combat to exciting chase sequences. All of the action sequences have tons of intensity, some have tons of realism, and then some are a bit implausible and unrealistic, like jumping off of a stadium into a river over a 40-50 foot gap. I'm not sure if that one's possible, but it's a movie, so if you can turn your brain thoughts down a little bit and just go with it, you'll be on the edge of your seat as Ray unleashes his skills against powerful adversaries. Sweet Girl is worth a watch for Momoa's performance alone, so if you're looking for something a little different, hang out with this somewhat normal guy throughout the intense action, powerful family bonds, and the emotional themes.
What do you know about the Sierra program?
Reckless mystery men you guys send in when you can't officially send anyone else.
The Gray Man.
Alright, let's jump back into a more stereotypical action hero mold with Court Gentry, played by Ryan Gosling in The Gray Man. In this movie, Gosling plays a skilled CIA Black Ops mercenary known as the Gray Man. He uncovers some dark secrets within the agency he's working for and then gets framed for treason and starts to be hunted by Lloyd Hansen, who's played by Chris Evans. Then this Gray Man goes rogue. To clear his name and survive, he must rely on his lethal skills and team up with Danny Miranda, played by Ana de Armas in this film. A global chase ensues, with Gentry facing off against Hansen and his deadly forces across continents, from Washington DC to Vienna and beyond. Honestly, this movie is a ton of fun. It has thrilling action sequences, innovative choreography, and breathtaking stunts, keeping you on the edge of your seat throughout the entirety of it. The action is also well balanced with the movie's unintentional humor.
You must be Lloyd. What gave it away? The trash stash. It leans Lloyd. Easy.
And I know some of you thought it was forced or cringy, but I really thought that Gosling's wit and his facial expressions made for some truly hilarious moments. The acting in this film was very, very strong overall, particularly Gosling's portrayal of the stoic yet resourceful Gentry and Evans' menacing villain, but these two help carry you through the narrative with their on-screen chemistry. To be honest though, Gosling has become one of my favorite actors in Hollywood recently, ever since he appeared alongside Russell Crowe in The Nice Guys. I feel like they unleashed his inner comedic acting somehow, and I still feel like it's truly underrated. Like a lot of these films, this has great visuals, but this one has a unique, sleek cinematography that adds to the overall spectacle, but also gives you an immersive experience. The Gray Man, like I said, it's a fun movie, featuring thrilling action sequences, strong performances, and the hilarious secondary elements I talked about, and with the help of the star-studded cast, you're locked in all the way to the end.
Trusting a thief can be dangerous.
Oh, what the fuck?
This here is our bonus recommendation on this list, and it is Red Notice. And I almost didn't put it on the list because I just didn't want to have too many Ryan Reynolds movies on the same list here, but it's such a phenomenal movie and it's so much fun that I decided to include it anyway. And in this Netflix original action movie, we're thrown right into the high-stakes world of international art theft. Interpol profiler John Hartley, played by Dwayne Johnson, against his wishes teams up with Nolan Booth, played by Ryan Reynolds, a charming and cunning art thief, and they face off against Sarah Black, aka the Bishop, played by Gal Gadot. Their unlikely alliance takes them around the globe on this adventure, chasing the bishop and searching for hidden treasure in exotic locations like Egypt, Rome, and Bali. Along the way, they face betrayal, double crosses, and the hilarious mishaps as they attempt to outsmart both each other and their enemies. The action in this film is non-stop, and it's also hilarious, and it carries on at this thrilling pace, with a blend of humor and gunfights and high-stakes chases. The chemistry between Johnson, Reynolds, and Godot was by far my favorite part of this movie. Just the simple interactions where they're talking to each other, and their witty banter and contrasting personalities create this comedic gold.
How'd you find me?
You stole William Strang's Lady with the Red Hat from the tape.
You can't prove that was me. I got that on Etsy.
And the sets were pretty cool too, running through these monstrous art museums, ancient tombs, and glittering casinos. It offered a variety of backdrops for the action and the adventure. Now, Red Notice is the typical action-adventure movie with a lot of familiarities, but the somewhat predictable plot is far outweighed by the star-studded cast with high-level action sequences and comedic banter. Definitely worth a watch. And that's going to do it for us today, everybody. So take a second to like and to subscribe to the channel or watch one of our other videos, but let us know down in the comments which one of these movies you're going to check out or you already love. Thanks again. Have a great day.